Once upon a time, in a magical land filled with candy, there lived a group of silly creatures called the Marshmallows. They were small, fluffy, and loved to bounce around and play games. One day, the Marshmallows decided to have a contest to see who could make the biggest marshmallow ever. They all went to work, gathering all the sugar and cream they could find, mixing and stirring until their arms ached. But no matter how hard they tried, none of them could create a marshmallow that was bigger than a tennis ball. Just when they were about to give up, a new marshmallow came bouncing into town. Her name was Mimi, and she was known to be the most creative and innovative marshmallow of all. Mimi took one look at the small marshmallows and said, "I know just what we need to make a gigantic marshmallow." She led the group to a secret spot in the forest where a mysterious plant grew. "This is the magic marshmallow plant," Mimi explained. "If we mix the leaves and flowers into our recipe, we can make a marshmallow bigger than any of us have ever seen." The marshmallows were skeptical at first, but Mimi convinced them to try. They mixed in the magic plant with their recipe and started to stir. Soon, a gigantic marshmallow began to form in the pot, growing bigger and bigger until it was the size of a small house. Excited by their success, the Marshmallows decided to take the giant marshmallow on a tour of their candy-filled land. As they bounced along, they attracted a crowd of animals and creatures who were amazed by the size of the marshmallow. Suddenly, they heard a loud rumbling noise. It was the candy monster, a scary creature who loved to eat everything in sight, especially candy. The marshmallows were scared, but Mimi had an idea. She climbed on top of the gigantic marshmallow and started to tickle it. The marshmallow shook and jiggled, and soon it was bouncing up and down, like a trampoline. The candy monster was so distracted by the bouncing marshmallow that it forgot all about eating the little creatures. The marshmallows breathed a sigh of relief and continued their tour, bouncing and playing with the gigantic marshmallow. They even shared some with the animals they met along the way, spreading joy and happiness throughout the land. As the day drew to a close, the marshmallows returned home, exhausted but happy. They all agreed that Mimi was the most creative and innovative marshmallow of them all. And they knew that they would never forget the day they made the gigantic marshmallow and saved themselves from the candy monster. And so, the marshmallows went to bed, dreaming of all the fun adventures they would have the next day, with their gigantic marshmallow by their side. The end.